the sign-in sheet, which I'm going to send around now. And Elaine and I are going to co-present this portion today. We're going to start with an overview of some of the services that are available, and using optimal resume and some of the trends in business. And then I'm going to get into the nuts and bolts as far as how we actually create our e-portfolio and submit your assignment for this particular course. Okay? So when it gets to my point, if you have your laptops or other technology, you can feel free to start creating as we go through it. If you need a little assistance, stay after the seminar, and I'm more than happy to answer individual questions or help anyone that's getting stuck. Okay? So you ready? All right, let's begin. Thank you, Elaine.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much for letting me come in and talk to you today. We always love to share information about career development. One of our big things that we want to let you know about is we did move to the Student Leadership Center. So if you have gone to SDC looking for us, we're not there anymore. We're at 404 Student Leadership Center, SLC. Same office hours, morning. Sybil and I both work in that office. And the other exciting news is we are having our fall career fair. It was a field club for the fall career fair. It will also be happening in the Student Leadership Center on October 16th from 1 to 4. And so if anyone wants to see the list of employers who that are currently registered, I think we're up to 33 between Wellsville and Alfred. There's about 20 plus for the Alfred Career Fair. You can actually access that list. You can look at each company, see who they're looking for, more details about that. How many people here have accessed JobLink already at some point? Okay, good. That's a good show of hands. And all of you should know that if you haven't used it yet, you can start using it now, and you can use it after you graduate. We are almost up to 3,000 employers in the system, so it's not, it's getting pretty significant, the employers that do reach out to us. And it's not just local employers, it's employers across the country, and we even have some global postings. So it's a great resource for you. And actually, all the programs that we all the programs that we have, Optimal Resume, Career Beam, and JobLink, are accessible to you now and after you graduate. All right, so today I'm just talking briefly about an overview about the portfolio and some of the importance of that. So why create a portfolio? Years ago it used to be just graphic artists, people who were in artsy types of career paths were the ones that always used portfolios, and no one else really thought about using them. And now it's really become even more, I see a bigger trend towards portfolios for all types of jobs. If you go into an interview with a portfolio and someone else is just walking in with a resume, think about how much more powerful that is. Your portfolio is actually providing proof. It's providing the hard evidence of the things that your resume is saying. So someone coming in there with just a resume, that might be kind of impressive, but here you come in with actually samples of your work, with documentation, with really live evidence about what you can do. It's going to be a lot better marketing tool for you, and that's what it's all about, is really marketing yourself during the interview. And if you get into the interview, you definitely want to be able to take full advantage of that. So it gives you an advantage over other candidates. It can augment your resume by providing that proof of the things that you say that you can do. And I just pulled this off on the website yesterday because I thought, well, it'd be kind of cool to see an employer's perspective about portfolio, why they're important. And what it really does, just like a resume, you're not going to do one resume for every employer. You're not going to do one portfolio for every employer, for every job. What you need to do, what your job is to determine what's that need of that employer. What do they have listed? What are they looking for? And then how do you match that? So you're going to create your portfolio in a way that fills those gaps, that fills the need for that employer. Because if you don't do that, if you don't have, like say they're looking for someone that has customer service and leadership, and if your portfolio and your resume are not don't have those keywords, don't have that kind of documentation, you're not going to be considered for the job. The person who does that is the one that they're going to pick. So what you want to do is, with your portfolio, the employer likes it because they can tell what skills you have, if your experience complements the skills of their business, so to see if you're that match. Your potential. So they're not expecting that you're going to be ready to do the job, but they want to see your potential to doing the job. And that's what your portfolio can show. the ability that you have at this point. And if you're able to read directions and follow the directions of what they're requesting, so they can prove that. And the one point that she made there, which I thought was kind of interesting, is that you don't have to have a huge portfolio with all kinds of things, but just a couple of good pieces that show your potential, your ability to do the job, can be what gets your foot in the door. So your goal is to match each portfolio with every job you're applying to. So some of the things that you can include in your portfolio, you definitely want to have your resume in there. You want to have that as part of your portfolio. You can include your references, you can include your degree, transcripts, certificates, but maybe you even got a really nice thank you letter from a customer. Say you work at Friendly's. You work somewhere on campus and you got a really nice email about the service that you provided, or maybe the job you worked at over the summer. It might be totally unrelated to what you want to do. It's still backing up and proving your ability to work with people, your ability to do customer service, or if you handled a complaint or something like that. So think about all the evidence that you can incorporate into your portfolio. It's good to have a hard copy version, but electronic is really awesome, and that's why Optimal Resume is so cool, because you can just blast that off to whoever you want to take a look at it. They click on it and they get to see what you're all about and your potential. So testimonials are always good. Evaluations, samples of your work, awards, all those types of things that can prove what you say you can do. So how to create your portfolio and optimal resume. Just so you know, I have some handouts here. They did change the website a little bit and let us know after we already had all of our things printed out. So you don't just go to student services, now you have to go to alfredstate.edu, student life, student services, and then career development, and then to optimal resume. And in all the programs that we have, JobLink, Optimal Resume, and CareerBeam, since they are branded sites, you want to make sure that they say Alfred State on them. You're not just going to a generic site. And you're going to need to create an account the first time if you haven't. You can't just use any of your existing passwords if you haven't already been in the system. Optimal Resume has a lot more than just portfolio. It has, of course, resume building. You can do cover letters. You can do some assessment on there to kind of get an idea to incorporate some skills into your whole portfolio. You can practice interviews. So if anyone hasn't ever looked at this component, it's kind of cool. If you have a webcam, you can actually choose the type of interview that you want to have and actually do some practicing. And it's a great thing to do if you haven't ever practiced an interview. You don't ever want to go into an interview without some type of practice. And that's something that we do in our office. Anytime if anyone wants to practice an interview, we'd be happy to go through a mock interview with you. We do them all the time. The other thing we can do is if you have Skype interviews or anything like that, where you need some like high-tech type of interview, we have an interview room. We have all kinds of technology we can provide support for. So Skype interview is going to become pretty popular as all of you start looking across the country. It might not be feasible for you to get into California to go for an interview. Skype interviews are the answer for that, and we can help with that. So just give us a little heads up and we can get you set up. And ultimately, the one tool that you can use with Optimal, you can't see it's cut off on the screen, is you can create a website with all these components. So if you do your cover letter, you do your resume, you do your portfolio, you can combine that all into a website, a unique URL that you send to the employer. It's not out there like Monster or something on Monster where everyone can see it. It's just to whoever you want to view, so it's good as far as your privacy. And then the employer can click on that website. You choose what landing page it goes on, if it's your resume or your portfolio. They get to click on samples of your work and it's all right there. And if you think about that compared to someone just sending a resume, it's a lot more powerful marketing tool. So I just think I went through all of that. Oh, and the other thing the really other nice component about Optimal is they provide a lot of support. So if you ever have a problem, you can always report that to them or send an email, and they provide that type of support. But they also have webinars and tutorials all the time. So there's always that button right off the home screen with Optimal webinars. They have a whole list of them that are pre-recorded, so you can watch them immediately. And there's also ones that you can sign up for through a GoToMeeting type of setup, and you can actually go through and interact with the presenter if you have any questions. So it's really great for giving you an idea how to get started. And there's a sample of what it would look like that was back in 2011, but the variety of webinars that they have and recorded trainings that they provide. So it's always changing. And since I don't have to go through the step-by-step, that's really the majority of my piece. Anyone have any questions about any of that? Or any of the programs that I spoke about? All right. We'll hope to see you all in our office or at the career fair, and good luck to all of you.
Thank you, Elaine. It's great for you. Put a face with the name. And so absolutely, if you haven't been over to their office, I strongly recommend that you stop in and find out what kind of services are available, and also check out the job fairs, okay? So I'm just going to take a second here and turning over to the PC. There we go. All right. A couple things that I want to restate that Elaine mentioned. It's imperative that you go into alfredstate.optimalresume.com when we start our work, okay? Because if you just go into optimalresume.com, in a little while they're going to ask you to start paying. If you go into alfredstate.optimalresume.com, as a current student and as an alumni of the college, you will have this service, okay? So that's one thing that I wanted to prompt you about with that. The other thing Elaine mentioned is we're going to focus on the e-portfolio today because that's how you're going to get your class work submitted. But you can use Optimal Resume later on in the semester when you learn about cover letters and resumes. You can add them directly to your portfolio. And when you start applying for jobs, you can customize the portfolio or create different portfolios depending on the job that you're applying for. Okay? So the purpose of our group today is to create a portfolio for your professors so that they can review the work in this particular class. And through that, you will learn the skills you need in order to create the portfolio in the future when you're seeking employment. Okay? So I like to begin with the end in mind. And here's just a simple example of what your e-portfolio should look like. Sorry. Thank you. This is what your e-portfolio should look like if you have followed the instructions as we go through them in class today. All right? So this is Title01. Of course, it's my ID. It's going to be replaced with yours. There's 4 basic projects that we're going to build. And so you're going to have your weekly journal requirements, and you're going to have those, submit those in your portfolio. All right? Question already. Go ahead.
I'll probably go over this, but like I said, we already had one. We go through this, do it again.
What you're going to do is create a new one. Okay? So as we go through the process, you already have an account. You'll go in.
Use the one-on-one test.
Yeah, you're going to do a new portfolio. Okay? So yes, if you were in my business communications class, you probably have a web folio, we called it, right? So you're going to create the e-portfolio. So there's the weekly journal requirements. This is where you are going to submit them. And I'm going to give you today your first prompts for your journal work that you're going to do related to this class. So you have a choice. You're going to electronically write in your journal and save it in a Word document. You might choose to do a Word file for each week and have it by topic. Or you might do one file for the whole semester and have all the different topics within the file. Whatever you feel is more comfortable for you, either one of those are acceptable, as long as at the end of the semester, your e-portfolio has a journal entry for every single session that has that check mark that says you need to do a journal entry. Okay? And then there's some specific assignments that your syllabus has laid out where certain professors will ask for additional assignments, and this is where you're going to save them in your e-portfolio. You're going to write a short paper at the end of this semester, the overall summary of personal seminar learnings, and so that will go there. And then you're going to do a course evaluation, and as we go through our practice today, the file that we're going to upload is the course evaluation form, just to practice uploading the file. At the end of the semester, you'll actually fill it out and upload the final one. But I want you to practice uploading the file because that's how you get all of the work into your projects. Okay? So beginning with the end in mind, this is kind of what it looks like. The other thing, beginning with the end in mind, is this is kind of the last page when we go through the process today. This is the last page that you will see. And there's a couple pieces of really important information here. As Elaine mentioned, this is actually your little web page. And you are going to end up with a URL that you can submit to anyone that you want to see your webfolio, or your e-portfolio, excuse me, okay? And so this URL is what you're going to submit under your assignment in Blackboard to me with your passkey, which is, it's just like a security code, so that all the professors that end up grading in this class will have access to your work, okay? And so you can see right here the URL. Does everybody see that? Right there. URL. Okay, that's the URL. Over here it says deactivate website, so that makes me assume that it is activated, because that's one of, I'm trying to think of some of the little mistakes people make that make their website not visible, and so you have to activate it. All right. You can see up here it says update passkey. And so in order for it to say update, you must have one. So that's a good sign. Okay, so you want to look at that. And down here, you can see that you have the ability to add pages to your website. And so I have clicked enable under portfolio. See that? Enable. That's something else to really be careful of. And I have clicked ePortfolio. Do you guys see webfolio from the old class? That's not clicked, because I don't want that to be in this particular website. So if you do have one from your prior class, just don't click it, all right? So you click ePortfolio. You can see later on that resumes and letters are also available, and so when you do your resume and your cover letter later in the semester, you can click enable, and your resume will be here. It'll become the second page on your portfolio. You can click enable in your cover letter, click that, and it will become the third page. And so later on in the semester, you'll be able to add some of that work right to your portfolio. All right? So just wanted to kind of give you a little overview of what to expect, what it will look like in the end. And now we'll begin. Are you ready?
Ready.
Are you excited? All right, let's do it. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am in Blackboard. So if you have your computers, log into Blackboard. And under course documents, you're going to find some very important information. All right? So the first thing is week 2, how to develop an e-portfolio. I have for you 5 documents. 4 of them are related to what we're doing tonight. The SWOT analysis template, that is referred to in your syllabus. When you do that summary of the course, it says in your syllabus that you need to do a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis, and look at the e-portfolio week to get that template. So that's why that's here, all right? So at the end of our session, we should be able to create an account in alfredstate.optimalresume.com. There's the link right there. Create a new portfolio, add new projects, and upload files. We have 4 projects that we're going to create. Journal, additional assignments, summary, and course eval. Okay? Then we're going to create your website, and from that, we're going to provide access to your e-portfolio through the website's URL and passkey. So that's what we're going to do. Here are your journal prompts for this week. So when you start your journal this week, week 1 is how to develop an e-portfolio, and my journal entry, you're going to take a look at my statement here and some of the questions, and then write what you think. Okay? And where is that going to end up once you've completed your journal? In the e-portfolio. Very good. Okay? So again, you're going to type it up in Word, save it as a document. You can save it as a Word or PDF, whichever you want, and you're going to upload it to your project labeled journal. Any questions on that so far? All right. Yes? You can do whatever you want, but I'm being recorded for my online class, so I'm going to keep going. So go ahead. Let's think now. So the other thing I want to show you is under assignments. There is a Build Your ePortfolio assignment link that has been activated for you. And you can see this is where you're going to submit your URL and passkey. I will check every one of those over the next week or so and make sure that they're all operational. There shouldn't be any issue because the last job aid, there's a little quality check where you can actually check and see if your website's working and if it looks similar to the one that I showed you, okay? And so you can do that, but this is where you're going to submit the URL and the passkey. So literally you're just going to click in here, and then under the assignment, you're just going to go ahead and put your URL and your passkey, and then submit it, okay? Any questions so far on that? All right, so let's go back to course documents, and I'm going to open the first job aid. I can make it a little bit bigger. All right, so this one we should be able to do relatively quickly. It should be pretty easy, right? Okay, so what you're doing here is you're creating your account in Optimal Resume. So basically, in your browser, you need to go to alfredstate.optimalresume.com. Okay? And then you just follow the prompts to create an account. Yes?
So I've done this in another class, and it says that the email I've put in is already registered. So do I just put my personal email?
No, you can go ahead and just log in. So if you already have an account, then just log in.
So you just have to create a new one. So
You will create a new portfolio, but you don't need a new account.
Okay.
Okay? How many of you have already created an account? Okay, doesn't take long, right? Just a minute or so. Okay, I'm going to continue, all right? And as I stated at the beginning of class, if you fall a little bit behind, don't sweat. Just stick around and I will come and work with everybody to make sure you're feeling good, all right? But let's continue. And I'm going to go back now into the Blackboard and the second job aid. I'm going to go ahead and open that one. God bless you. Alrighty, so in this job aid, we are actually going to learn how to create a new portfolio. Alright, so you have step-by-step for every part of creating your ePortfolio in the files that we're opening and looking at right now. And so from the Document Center, we're going to click on Create New Portfolio. So you have a screenshot there and where the portfolios are. Under Name This Portfolio, which is the next little screen that's going to come up, you are going to type lowercase e, capital P, portfolio, okay? And your username. So my example is lowercase e, capital P, O-R-T-F-O-L-I-O, and my username. You're not going to type my username, and sometimes students do that. Type your username, and that will make your portfolio unique, okay? And then you'll click Start Portfolio. The next thing you're going to do is click Start from Scratch and Continue. And now you've completed this job aid. Yes, sir?
I created one last year, and it's the same name. So it shows I have already completed the same name.
Is it ePortfolio? Okay, you can use that and just update it because it was for this class, right? Yes, yeah, you can use that and just refresh it. You'll make some changes when we projects. Okay? But the initial e-portfolio is fine.
So, can I keep the original files for last week?
Some of them, if they still apply, yes. Okay? It's the next job aid where you're going to make some changes. Okay? Alright. So now I'm going to go back to Blackboard and I'm going to open the third job aid. And this job aid is going to walk you through step by step how to add a new project and upload files. When we think of, well, what is a project? In this class, remember, there are 4 projects that we're going to be adding to our portfolio. They are the weekly journal, the specific assignments, the overall summary of personal seminar learnings, and the course evaluation form. So I'm just going to scroll down to the end there a minute to remind you that at the end of the day, you should have 4 projects in this order in your portfolio. Okay? Weekly journal requirements are required for most every class. If you look at the check marks on your syllabus, the specific assignments on certain classes. For example, next week, Dr. Back is going to be doing the writing, and there is going to be an assignment related to that. The overall summary of personal seminar learnings, if you read in your syllabus again, it gives you an overview of what that writing will be about, and then the course evaluation form. All right? But back to the beginning of this particular one. What are we going to do? From the Add Projects screen, under the Name This Project, we're beginning with the last one, only because we're going to practice uploading a file for that one. We're going to type D, period, course evaluation form. We're giving it the letter D because it's an easy way for them to be ranked in the order that we want to see them when we're done. Now, what we're going to want to do is we're going to actually want to upload a file to this particular project. And so we're going to practice. This is just for practice. We're going to practice with the course evaluation form. And I indicate that that form is located in Blackboard under course information. So if you go back to Blackboard and you go to course information, there it is, the course evaluation form. Okay? So that's where you'll find the template. Now, of course, you're going to actually complete this at the end of the semester. Again, we're just using this for practice. So now, if we go back to our job aid, of course it's this one, okay? What you will do is click on Add Files, all right? And you will upload your evaluation at the end of the semester, but for now we're just practicing how to get files into your projects. So now we have, as stated in the syllabus, there are 4 projects, so you are going to repeat this job aid and add the other 3 projects. So you'll end up with 4. Until you do your first journal writing, you don't really have anything to upload yet, right? But say you decide you're going to do that tonight. So tonight you go into Word and you type up your journal entry related to this class and you save it as either a Word or a PDF. Then you can go into your Optimal Resume account and upload it under your weekly journal writings, okay? Every time you do that, your website, that we're going to look at next, automatically updates. All right, so it's the perfect just in time. As you do things, it updates your website. All right. And so we have one more job aid to look at quickly. Under course documents. And this is the final job aid. And this job aid is all about creating that website. Alrighty? So from the document center now, you are going to click on Create New Website. Under Name the Website, you're going to type ePortfolio with a capital P and your username. Alright? So again, my example. want to make it unique to you. Then we're going to click on the Start the Website. And what we want to make sure we do, so pay close attention to this, is we want our portfolio to be available in the website, okay? So we need to click Enable under Portfolio, and then click on your portfolio. Lowercase e, capital P, portfolio with your username. Those 2 clicks will make it available in the website. The other thing you're going to want to do is change the page order, because you want that to be the first page in your website. So you're going to change it to page 1. All right? And then you're going to save. The next thing that you have to do is you have to apply a website template. So this is where you get to be a little creative and think about what colors and fonts and things like that based on all the options that are available in Optimal Resume. So once you find the template that you like, what you need to make sure you do is click on Select, okay? So you can see right here, I've selected this particular template. My mouse is stuck. And right down here is a little Select button, so you have to activate it. If you forget to do that, when you put in your URL, it'll be bad. Okay, you have to click on a template in order for it to activate. The next thing that you're going to do then is select and enable your passkey. So above the templates, you're going to see that option to select and activate or enable your passkey. When you click on that little box, Enable Passkey, you get to type in whatever your security password is, okay? And then finally, you will preview and activate your website. So there you can see that green button there that says to activate the website. So on this page, you have the URL. Once it's activated, you should be able to quality check to make sure everything is working by giving your URL to a friend and having them put it into a browser, giving them your passkey, and they should be able to get into your website and view everything in your portfolio that we created. Okay? Then you're going to take the URL and passkey once you've quality controlled, and you are going to put it in the assignment in Blackboard that I showed you a little bit earlier. That's how you get credit for doing this particular assignment, and I'm the professor that will be evaluating everyone's portfolio. So 104 in the class and 39 online. So far, I've looked at a few online, and they seem to be coming through no problems. But if there is a problem, I'll email you and give you an opportunity to work with me to get it resolved. All right? Your URL and passkey need to be to me no later than September 11th, because Dr. Back is going to assign you an assignment that needs to go into your e-portfolio. So we want to make sure all the e-portfolio issues are resolved before that assignment has to come in. Okay, do we have any specific questions at the moment? Yes, ma'am.
I'm not seeing where it says like click on passkey.
Okay.
Like our website template.
It's on your web page file or screen. Okay. Does anyone near her see it? Can help her out. That's what it looks like, just to give you an idea. Does anyone else have any particular? Yes? Can we quiet for just a moment, please? Thank you.
When we have an assignment, is it due like the next week before we have class, or is it due like at a certain time?
Your professor will tell you,
Oh,
okay? So for example, in our class right now, if you go to Blackboard, and this is under assignments, is where you'll find them all, okay? And so our assignment is due September 11th by 11:59 p.m. So each professor that's going to, there's 5 board assignments that are going to be due, they should set up a link under assignments just like this, and also let you know the due date.
okay, great.
You're welcome. Yes?
Is there a journal we have to use as well?
Yes, we have to do a journal for this class, all right? So under course documents, how to develop an e-portfolio, here's your journal prompts for this particular session.
So we're going to submit those too?
Yes, that again, you're going to type up in Word, and you're going to save that file, and that file is going to be, what are you going to do with it, guys? You're going to upload it to your e-portfolio under weekly journal, okay?
When is that due by next class?
We won't actually review them until the end of the semester,
So,
okay? And so I won't look at that till the end of the semester. The reason that we do that is with journaling, you might go back and add something, or you might reflect and change it. It's very personal, it's yours. Yes?
Pretty sure you guys to clarify, we can have one file with all the journals in it by like date, and then upload it.
Yes. Either one I think is acceptable. Some people might find it easier to manage if they submit a journal file every week. And so under weekly journals, they'll have 10 files, for example, okay? Maybe they'll name it by topic, like this one is a portfolio journal. Other people might prefer to keep it all in one file because they want to go back and reflect and change previous thoughts. As long as at the end of the seminar, every journal item is in the one file, because we'll open it and we'll check to make sure they're all there, then I believe either option is going to be okay. Yes?
So we add a file under our portfolio as the journal and then everything is right there.
Yep, so let me show you, begins with the end in mind.
how long does it have to be?
There is no length requirement, but you saw for today's class, we have 3 questions. Three questions that you need to answer. And so what we're going to be looking for is that you took the time to think about and, give some thoughtful evaluation of the questions. So 1 sentence for each is probably not going to be considered valid, but, it's not necessarily going to be 2 pages per question. Okay? So to answer your question, beginning with the end in mind, weekly journal requirements is the first project on your e-portfolio. And so within the next week or so, hopefully there'll be a file up there that represents the journal that you wrote about tonight's class and the 3 questions that I prompted. I keep saying 4, I don't know why, 3. Other questions? What do you need? Oh, go ahead, yes. You click the template first, and then the next step is to select your passkey. Okay? Did you guys find the passkey checkbox? Okay. Yes? Was there a yes? Can you tell everybody where you found it?
It should be like the very top shipment.
Yes.
Do you click activate website or no?
When you're all done and you followed all of the steps, yes, you need to activate your website or no one will be able to see it. What can I do to help you guys as a larger group at this point? Is there anything as a larger group I can do to help you? Or does it make sense work in smaller groups that have specific questions. How many of you have this done? It's done, you're good, it works, all right? Have you submitted your URL